Brother, be affected by nothing. Everything's trying to make you an NPC. Everything is trying to make you a normie. Use your Chat GPT. I call Chat GPT. I don't even use it. I call it Jeep it. Jeep it. Because really, it's an Indian. It's spiritually Indian. Claude, I call Claudia. Spirit of a black woman with 3 kids. You know, I caught myself using Claude, and I was like, hey Claude, what do you think about this banana bread recipe? You think I can add some raisins? And this is how Claude responds. That's genius. Of course you can add raisins to your banana bread. I think the consistency of the raisin, along with the flavor of banana, will go tremendously. So you do it. Okay, great. Okay, it's good. Next thing you know, you're saying, hey, Claudia, can I add bacon to my banana bread? And it says, wow. While uncommon, while a rare exception, I think that would go quite nicely. Then you start adding bacon. You feed it to your girl. She chokes on it. She's like, babe, what the fuck are you doing? She spits that shit out. I'm done with AI, man. I'm done with AI. I'm telling you, nothing. I'm letting nothing. Fuck all these people, man. F these comedians. F these podcasts of just idiots talking. I'm not doing any podcasts, okay? I'm not doing any podcasts. I'm not doing any sponsorships. I'm not gonna do merch. Fuck merch, man. I'm not writing any books. I'm not doing anything. I'm not hooking up with anybody. I'm not seeing anybody. Fuck all that. Everyone's corrupted. I'm convinced most people, 99% of people, are corrupted. They have lost their righteousness. They have lost their way. They have been tricked, just like Eve in the garden tricked Adam. They started thinking. They started scheming. F scheming. If you're scheming, you're losing. I'm telling you, you're fucking losing it, dude. You're losing it. If you're getting emotional, you are a weak man. You need to do a 1080 and moonwalk away. Just do a 1080 and moonwalk away. This whole life has become a circus. You know, there was that quote by, what was it, Cicero? The willingness of the people was to give their attention and things, I'm paraphrasing, to the finer things in life, to the deeper things that would provide them sustenance for the bread and circuses, for the excitement of the games. And you think this is a joke. You think this is some joke. It's not a joke. This is the reality that we're in, man. We are in a circus. And the circus used to be this thing that you would go to because you lived your life on a farm, little Jimmy, and your dad's like, boy, let's go to the circus. I've been to a circus in the 90s. Circus were real big. Ringling Brother and Barling Bailey Circus. You would get so excited. We're going to the circus. Going to the circus. Your dad's driving the car. Your mom's there. Woo! All the kids are like, yeah, we're going to the circus. Can't wait to get to the circus. You go to the circus to the big tent. You see the elephants. You see the tigers. You see the people swallowing swords. You see, all these swords just boop, 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 just surrounded by, oh my God, he's gonna die. You see the acrobats swinging all over the place. Dude, the circus has become a madhouse, an absolute horror show. The circus is now on the internet, where we used to go to the circus randomly. Wow, look at that. That's amazing. Go home. Okay. Now we go into the circus and we see Bonnie Blue. And instead of, swallowing a bunch of steel, she's surrounded by 100 dicks. Now, instead of seeing bears, lions, tigers, and bears, we see every fucking thing, dude. We see too much. We see too much, and we've lost the ability to feel. By seeing so much and not being able to do anything about it. All we do is think. We think, and thinking perverts you, man. You know, now the circus has become the madhouse, and a horror house is way worse than entertainment. Horror causes you to pay attention. Horror causes you to think. Horror causes you to lose your creativity. Puts you too much in your head. The retard sees the horrors. He sees the bear take off the ringmaster's head. And he goes, yep. Well, that was quite a show. I'm out of here. Zippity doo dah, chitty chitty bang bang. He's out. He's in the parking lot. He's boarding the short bus. He's off with his buddies. Seriously. We're getting so fooled, man. We're getting absolutely fooled into thinking all the time. And we think we're like these autonomous, sovereign individuals. You're really being pulled like a string, like a string of puppets. Like there's the ringleader directing, and you're just, dude, you bought the ticket and you took the ride, and here you are, and you haven't left. Thinking corrupts. The apex, the pinnacle of corrupted thought is someone that appears demonic. You know, we see the shooter, this tranny shooter, this trans shooter that shot up these kids, these Catholic school. And everyone's getting riled up about this. And what you really see when you look at it is a person that was at the madhouse, at the horror show for too long, without enough guidance and clarity and goodness to come along and say, hey, idiot, stop thinking. This is an individual who was corrupted and perverted by thought. Thought corruption, man. I'm telling you, thought corrupts. We must return to Eden. You're seeing it all the time, and we've been lied to think that we need to be these intellectuals, and we need to, dude, no, you need to see, you need to feel, you need to be guided by intuition. If you are righteous at your core, you don't have to think all the time. You could just observe and witness. This is wrong. This is bad. This is unjust. This is poor. This is degenerate. I do not need to be partaking in this. If you are someone that gets riled up all the time, you are being manipulated and fooled by the ringmaster, by the puppeteer. By the way, this is an Oliva Serie V Maduro. This is a very good cigar. This is one of those cigars, if you're hanging out with your boys, you go to a cigar lounge, you don't want to use your brain, you say, oh wow, I'm just going to get one of these Oliva Serie V. If you have a father that you want to buy a cigar for his birthday, I recommend the Oliva Serie V Melanio, I think it's called, Maduro. It tastes like Cocoa Puffs, espresso, a bit of that cream, coffee. It's very good. Okay? You will enjoy the cigar. So there you go. There's this, that girl in Scotland. You know, there's this migrant. A lot of you guys don't know this, but it's blowing up. This migrant was filming her, and she felt threatened, and he kept going towards her, and her sister was with her, and she pulls out a freaking knife and an axe. And she's like, get the fuck away from my sister and me. And he's like, go ahead and put that up to the camera. And she goes like this, ah. And everyone started erupting, emotional. A bunch of Americans for some reason. Guys from America. Dude, don't get emotional if you ain't gonna do shit. Because your life sucks. You're in the madhouse. You're in the whorehouse, man. You think that this is a joke. But if you really look at what you pay attention to, if you look at what most people pay attention to, the right or the left, okay? They have a side. They watch podcasts. They watch certain comedy. Everyone is compromised. Everyone is corrupted by thought. Everyone is scheming. And if you got a fucking scheme, you have started chasing riches, man. You started chasing riches. You let thought corrupt you to someone that chases this goal. And it usually stems out of fear. And any ambition that comes and arises out of fear is corruption. It is corrupted. And the people we're paying attention to, you could see it in their eyes. You could see it in their posses. They're dead. They're dead, dude. All of this science, all of these people, all of these podcasts, all these movies, all these shows, it's all dead. It's all slop. And this is the thing, you don't get mad at the people. Because if you get really mad, the thing is to spit it out like this. You spit it out, man. Spit out the slop. Spit out the filth. Spit out the recipes that are conjured up out of the AI, out of the programming. Spit out of the stuff that is not real and genuine and righteous and doesn't come from a place of goodness and soul. We have to, as a people, and it starts with the men, we have to return to a place of goodness. We have to stop being anxious. It says in the Bible, be anxious for nothing, man. You know, why worry about tomorrow? Tomorrow will take care of itself. Why are you worried about this and that? Look at nature. Everything's fine. Okay, a lion in Africa is chomping on a gazelle's backside right now. You think I give a fuck? What am I going to do? Go to Africa and start a gazelle rescue fund? No, I'm not. So why do I give a damn? Why be anxious about things happening? Look at this. We're in Eden. Why should I willingly submit to this sick parade? This circus, this horror show that wants to steal my attention, steal my creativity, and disturb my peace. I won't let that happen. And when I start to get entwined with these people, these dead, these corpses, these walking corpses, why? I'm not going to let myself get involved with this, man. And so you're called to guard your mind, to stay vigilant. And I'm telling you, if you're bad with people, but you're good with money, you're really broke. And a young man hates to hear this, because if you really want to experience a good life, it doesn't happen to you like this. There is a hero's journey that must occur. Okay? If there's no hero's journey, there's really no discovering of who you are. You have to fight. You have to scrounge. You gotta chew glass. You gotta breathe smoke. You gotta go through the shit, man. Like, seriously, you gotta go through some trials and tribulations. But a lot of people, we see this big time, they just want the money. They just want the success right away. They don't want to have to exit the basement and talk to people. They don't want to have to discover that inside of them is ultimately love. I find this so fascinating. I was reading about Napoleon, and Napoleon was asked about Christ. And Napoleon said I believe it was his general, and Napoleon responded, he said, I am absolutely astonished by Christ. He said, people look to me, to Caesar, to Charlemagne, to Alexander the Great, all conquerors of lands. And everyone compares Jesus in the same vein as all of these prolific men of history. All conquerors. And he says to his general, he says, Jesus wasn't a man, and you can't compare him to a human. He's not even in the same realm. Because while me, Caesar, and Charlemagne, and Alexander the Great conquered nations, we use force. But Jesus had people willing to die for him. Not by force, but out of love. Jesus was able to capture the hearts and minds out of people, not through force, but through instilling in them a idea that this life would be better, that you would find freedom when you let go of trying to obtain, when you let go of the greed, the hatred, when you let go of thinking, and you just chose to be as God created you to be like God with love. And that's where we all need to return to, man, is, we have to feel for other people. We got to feel empathy. And what this circus does, what this madhouse does, is it turns us away from our neighbors, from loving our neighbors, from really just being someone that can lift other people up. We get so concerned with possession. We get so concerned with what can I gain. I often see guys struggling with women. And it's always so clear to me. Like, women are very good at detecting when a man has been domesticated. Do you not understand that when I say domestication, I mean you have been domesticated, not just by like being a weak man. Weak men create hard times. No, fuck all that, dude. You're being domesticated in your humor. You're being domesticated in your ideas. Your thinking has been corrupted. You're being domesticated by what you choose to get emotional over. Instead of really carving out a path in this life, going where you want to go, doing what you want to do, living according to your nature. Bro, these guys, I don't know, my wife might not want me to smoke this cigar. I got to ask the girl to go out. Listen, you obviously got to be a righteous husband or boyfriend. You got to care about and show respect, duh. Okay? You don't want to be a shithead, and you don't want to fake. You don't want to put on a facade of, like, strength. You need to be strong. You need to be retarded. Don't think you're retarded. Know you're retarded. Live without thought. Live by your nature. Stop getting deceived and corrupted by the nature of the normies. Women are very good, very in tune with seeing if a guy is like that lion in Aesop's fable. In Aesop's fable that was declawed and defanged. Is he still a lion? Or is he a zoo animal? Is he a zoo animal that, I can bash upside the head and just break? Is he a circus animal? Is he a lion in a circus that is controlled by the ringmaster, like a marionette, like by the puppet master? Is this man only for show, or is he really wild at heart? And this is often why they get what's called the ick. Women are very good at knowing once they see a glimpse of domestication in you, it's like they start to discern, and they get a whiff of like a lesbian tendency in you. Like, they can tell when you're becoming a lesbian. We often do this, man. We often do this. And you might, why do I attract the wrong women? Well, you worry about the wrong things that are not according to your nature. You let thought dictate every move. You scheme all the time. You lack no goodness and no strength in your life. Everything is a scheme. And they constantly observe this in a man, because what they're really doing is seeing if you are righteous or not. Are they able to be with someone that can ultimately show them what is good? You know, the apple was a test for Eve. Adam, you gonna eat of this? Are you're gonna really follow me? You want this pussy, Adam? You gonna follow me or are you gonna follow God? What are you gonna do? Ultimately, he messed up. That's the average man. Want to appear rich. Want to appear like he's got everything together. Like, because he can flex. He can flex his money. He can flex his clothes. He can get this car to impress who? To impress who? You're not a free man. You're a caged animal. You're a caged lion. You're a show lion. You've let everyone else dictate to you what is of importance in your life. And you're paying the price. And not just with women, with everyone. You're paying the fucking price with your soul, man. What does it profit a man if he gains the world but loses his soul? What does it profit you if you live in this world but you don't get to live a life that you find merit in, that you find goodness in, that you can leave the world a bit better, seriously, that you can impact, you can relieve people from the hole that they're in? What does it profit you, dude? And so we've lost this ability to empathize, to feel, and to go with our intuition, to follow our bliss. Instead, we listen to the noise. We let social media tell us how to feel, what to get mad at, what's important, what supplements to take, what routines to follow, what goals to have. Fuck all these people, man. Let the idiots be idiots. Let these idiots trample each other. Let the dead bury their own, man. Do not be a part of these people. And also, do not wear this philosophy of retard maxing as your costume. You know what I mean? Do not wear this idea of walking by faith and not getting corrupted by thought as a costume and a cope and a way to be an idiot in this life. Because many of you are coping. Many of you, the world, what we're dealing with really, and you see it, sometimes we see these people in our group. And we've had this group for a while now. We get these people coming in and they say, oh, I'm retard maxing. But they're really being idiots. They're thinking too much. You're not being courageous. You're not actually taking risk. You're still a very secure mama's boy that has been raised by a woman with a spirit of fear. You're always looking for security. You're anxious. You have the luxury to be nihilistic and afraid. Dude, return to a state of childlike wonder. You're not using all these thoughts. I'm telling you, so many people do this because for so long they looked at this idea of no mind, walking by faith, not being manipulated as stupid, but they are really the idiot. They are really the idiot. And I know too many people they're gonna use this philosophy as a costume and a cope to be complete jackasses. And what I'm really saying is at the core, many people aren't good. That's what it is. Many people at their core are not good because they have been corrupted by thought for too long. And unless you turn from your normie ways, unless you turn from this state of greed and anger and getting all emotional and frustrated all the time and being a dickhead and doubt and question, unless you drop all that and you have love at your core and kindness and goodness and righteousness, this is all for show. You're not really retard maxing, dude. You don't get to wear this as a robe and then go out there and be a dickhead. Look at the people among us that actually suffer. There's no hatred in them. There's a blissfulness. There's a state of joy for life. So don't wear this. We're seeing that, and I'm F these people. It's just the idiots. The idiots ruin everything through overthinking. The best thing that you could do is return to a state of play. Play reminds you what's important. Play reminds you of your childhood. Not being used as a poisoning of nostalgia, but to simply remind you at what you thought was important or what you found important. And as we grow up, we often give that up for security. We give that up so that we are accepted. We give that up to flex and appear like we have now figured things out, that people will accept us. The only way that you will truly be successful is if you are righteous and you live according to your nature and you play, man, and you don't let people take play away from you to be at the circus and be oohed and awed and worried about all the bullshit. You got to exit the circus, exit the madhouse, go out, the freaking bear rips the head off the person. I'm out. What a show. I'm out. Zippity doo dah, baby. I'm exiting the building. Let's go, boys. We're out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get out. Escape. There's a different reality outside of this one that you built for yourself. Return to a state of play. Return to being good. All right? Be a good. All right? Be righteous, man. That's all you can do. Stop the scheming. You start scheming, you're playing someone else's game. You're being hijacked. You're being corrupted by thought. So you know what? Keep it thumos, man. And return to simplicity. It says in the Bible, they said, how should we pray? Jesus, how should we pray? And he said this. He said, pray to God like this, the Lord's Prayer. And it's so simple, and that's the most fascinating thing that also Napoleon found in Christ, is how he was able to reach the common man on a level of understanding by using simplicity. He was able, that is so astonishing to me. And that, this individual was able to touch the hearts of people through simplicity, through story, through parables, through metaphor. Not through intelligent arguments, rhetoric. He was able to get into the hearts and minds of men and make them see reality and make them see how they were living a life all in their head of thought, that they were being blinded, that there was a world outside. All they had to do is accept this new life. And he said, pray like this. Pray simply. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we have forgiven those who have trespassed against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power and glory. Amen. Simple. Very simple. Remember what's important. Give us this day our daily bread. Be anxious for nothing. Be afraid for nothing. Whom shall I fear? What weapon formed against me shall prosper? You start to partake and digest in the magnificentness of these simplistic and powerful verses, man. And you don't need to think about it. You just feel. You don't need to think what you're gonna do. You don't need to think how you're gonna make the recipe. You don't need to think about how the night's gonna go, if that girl's gonna reject you, if this idea of yours that you're executing on is ultimately gonna work out. Because we'll die, but guess what? death has lost its sting. You don't need to worry about anything. You don't need to consider, think. You don't need to be qualified and act at a certain precise moment. You need to walk by faith. Be simple enough. Be courageous enough to be simplistic in this life. And everything will come to you. Your daily bread, your clothes, your path will be illuminated. And that's it, baby. Ride the tiger. Keep it Thumos. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.